Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Angela again, and here again just to share with you another little episode in our autumn journal journey. So today we're going to have a look at a little project using a paper bag. So I hope that you've got one of those. If you don't have a paper bag, you can easily just use a sheet of paper, fold it in half and mock up the same sort of procedure. It's not a necessity, but it's just something that I had and I thought I'd give it a go. All right, so it's this kind of a bag, and the dimensions of that are 11 inches in length from the start to the top and 5 inches in width. That's 27.5 centimeters in length and 13 centimeters in width. So that's the bag that we're going to use. Now I'm making this project to go into the second signature, the one that has this beautiful picture of dahlias on the front, which I love. And I'm going to be putting that in. Oh, just let me move this over a bit. I'm going to be putting it in, not in the first page here, not on the second page, but I'm making it to fit over here because I'm going to have a project for here. I've got another little project that's going to fit on this bit as well. So we're making layers. All right, so we're making it to go in over here. So you could try a different size bag. The process is still the same. You're going to get the same result. Remember, these are just approximations, and I'm just giving you the sizes that I'm personally using. If you've got something there or thereabouts, that's going to work absolutely fine. All right, so that's where we're going to be putting that. I'm just going to put that to the side. Now what I want you to do is just to take your bag, and we are going to do a couple of folds here. So let me first give you the marking. So what I want you to do is, if you start from the right here, measure up 3 3/4 inches from the top down and draw a line. That's 9.5 centimeters from there to there. Then at the 14.5 centimeter mark from the start to here, or from the start to here in inches, that's 5 3/4 inches, draw another line. Okay, so you've got those two lines there. Again, these are just approximations. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to fold that down. Keep this flap upright. I'm going to fold that down like that. And I'm going to just grab my bone folder here. And just burnish that nicely, and then I'm going to just fold this one the other way. So you want to get that right as well. Just make sure you line it up on the side here. Okay, there we go. So we've got those there, and then what I want you to do is just push that down like that. All right, so we have like a Z happening here. All right, so that's what we're going to be left with. We now have a little pocket in here. We have a pocket in here, and we have a pocket in here. All right, so that's what we have got. So we're going to be, if you have a look, this is going to fit nicely onto our page. So just check the bag that you use is going to fit nicely onto your page. All right, so that's what we're going to do there. Now, first thing that we want to do is we want to put some bits and pieces on here. I want to cover these areas, right? Just make sure you burnish these nice and flat, and on the back here. Okay, you can actually take some glue. I'm just going to use this just to keep this flap, sorry, at the back nice and flat. Just going to stick that down at the back there, just to keep it flat. You can use any glue. Right, you've still got your 3 pockets there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put some layers on here. And the first bit I did was I took this page from my mini pages, so the pumpkin page, but it's printed 2 to a page, and it's part of the kit. So I have just cut around the top here of the pumpkin, so I've just fussy cut that out like that, and I am going to put that on the bottom here. So I've just trimmed it to fit onto my bag, and I'm going to stick that over there. And then for behind that area, I've just taken a piece of the pink backing sheet, and I'm going to stick that down at the back there first. So I just want to make sure that when I stick that I level it up with the edge here. All right, so I'm going to just take my art glitter glue, and I'm going to start with this little bit over here. So there we go. So how's everybody been doing? I hope that you're all safe and sound. I know there's lots going on in the world at the moment, but I'm hoping you all can get some crafting time in so that you don't need to think too much about those kind of things. Right, so let's just get that nice and settled. I'm just checking that I can get it as far to the top as possible. And I do like making things with paper bags. Right, so now this one I want to make a little pocket. So the way I'm going to stick this down is just on the edges at the bottom here, like this. And I'm going to make this a little pumpkin pocket. Right, so we're going to get that. And sometimes these bags aren't always the straightest, so you've just got to watch what's going on there. Right, so now you've got your pumpkin looking a bit 3D there, which is great. And we've got a little pocket at the back there, so we've got the first bit done, so that's really good. Okay, now for the second little one here, I've cut out another piece of paper. It's slightly longer and it is the width, but slightly longer just to go beneath here. And I'm just going to turn that around because it'll be easier for me. Again, this is just one of those background pages, and just something, you know, because I'm using my Autumn Lustre kit, so right, so I'm going to get that down like this. I'm going to, oops, just measure the top like that and like that, and then I'm able just to press that down. Now don't make it the full length of this pocket because you're not going to see it once we close these pockets and seal everything together, which we'll do at the end. All right, and then just for the top one here, I've just taken the pink skeletal leaf pages, and I love this color, lovely dusky pink, and I'm going to just put some glue on that one like that. Oh, I can definitely feel that autumn is approaching. We are officially, I think it's the last day of summer here, which I suppose for a lot of people that's sad, and it's always sad, I suppose, when we end a season, but I'm not a fan of the heat, so I'm always loving the arrival of autumn or spring, I must say. I really do. Now I've made this slightly too long on the one side, so I just want to see why I've got that like that. I'll just try that again. So we'll just get that a little bit more over. And it looks like I might have to trim that on the one side there. But that's all right. We can do that. Okay. So there we go. And yeah, that is a bit long. So I'm just going to trim that off with my crafting knife. So there we go, easily done. All right, so we've got those three all covered up now. There we have it. Right, so we've got three little pockets ready to go. What you can do now is you can take your glue and just glue along those sides there, the four there. Just make sure that's tucked out, and stick them down. Or you can do what I'm going to do, and that is go and sew around the edges. Now don't sew across the top one. If you're going to sew, start there and then go like that. This is a pocket in here, if I can open it. That's because I have cut it across the pouch bit there, but that's fine. I'll loosen that in a minute. So I'm going to just sew across there, but of course, as I say, that's just an option, whether you want to or not. So just give me 2 moments and I'll be back with you then. Okay, so I'm all back and ready, and you can see I stitched along there first of all, and then I stitched around the whole side there. So I'm happy how that's come out. And then what I've just done is I've just stuck down these 2 flaps that are the sort of expander bits in the bag, just so that when I put something in there, it's not going to get caught. All right, so we've got our pocket in the front, we've got a pocket there, we've got a pocket there, and we've got a pocket at the back again, and it's lovely and flat. Okay, so there we go. Now what I've got is just a couple of things that I want to show you that I've made to go in here. Not very much made, but just sort of put together. So first thing is I've taken quite a few pieces out of my ephemera pack. I've just backed them onto avocado dyed paper, just put some little paper tabs in the top of those like that. So those are the first 2 bits. And then what I've done is I've taken the bigger bit. These are all from the actual kit itself. Again, back those onto avocado dyed paper just because I had a load of it that didn't print quite right, so I thought I'd just use it. So I've sewn around these. I've got a tag that comes from the actual tags in the add-on kit. Just put a bit of tartan plum gingham bow in it. This comes from Plum Boutique, which you've heard me talk about before. And then of course another piece from the ephemera kit, and then one with some toadstools and a piece of ribbon that I've just sewn into the back there like that. And then what I've done is I've taken my little circle punch die, and I've cut out a piece of paper which are actually the pumpkin's backing page. So I'm just trying to grab it here so I can show you. I just took this is from one of the mini pages, and I've just cut it out. I think it was over here, something like that. And I've just cut one of those out. And I quite liked it because it just had some leaves lapping over the pumpkin, and I've just backed it onto card and glued that down. Put a tiny eyelet in there and some of that silk variegated ribbon which has the pinks and the peaches together. So that's what I've got there. So we're going to start with that, and then what I did was I have been using the skeleton die Sizzix die cuts, and I've just cut out, that's from the backing paper, this paper here, a leaf, some of the leaves from there. So this is the pink leaf paper. This is just some cardstock that I had, and I've cut out some of those skeleton leaves which I'm going to use to decorate in here as well. So I think I'm going to start by putting in those leaves first of all. And it's just a case of deciding where I want to put them. And I think I'm going to put the darker ones at the top and the lighter ones at the bottom, I think. And I'm going to just stick them in like that, and I'm going to glue down just the bits that are sticking out. Okay, so just making sure that this is nice and stuck down. It's just giving it a little bit of a more of an autumn look. I quite like these leaves at the moment. Right, and now we're just going to layer this up, and I think what I'm going to do is I want to stick this down onto the page first of all. So I'm going to just grab this here because it's easier to do this when it's flat. So let's just take this, and because I'm going to have a tag at the top, I'm quite mindful about getting this lower down like this. So that's sort of where I'm going to position it. So okay, so I'm going to just put some glue, not on all sides, just keeping a secret pocket at the back as well. You don't have to do that, but I am going to do that, because then you've got another pocket. But not that we need any more pockets, to be fair, we don't, but you know, can never have too many pockets. Secret places, I love them. Right, so we want to just get this down, and just mindful of these leaves on the side here, and then that's sort of where I want it. So get that stuck down nicely like that. Now you could stick those leaves down, but I quite like the way that they're not quite stuck there, and it's sort of got a 3D slight effect there. All right, so we've got that into the page, and now we're going to just lay this all up here. So I'm going to start at the back. I'm going to put the tag at the back here, and I love that ribbon. Then this pink one, I decided I was going to put that next to this one here. So you see how your leaves are just poking through. Then these two are going to go into the middle, and I'm going to alternate it, so I've got a ribbon on this side. So I'm going to put those into this middle bit here. And then just got these 3 little bits left, like that. And I'm going to put this one into the side there, this one into the side there, like that. And then I've got the lovely little round one, which I'm going to put poking through at the top over there. Okay, right, so now we have got this bit that comes over the middle here, and that's how it's going to look. Now I'm going to show you ever so quickly a little project just to put onto this piece here, which I'm hoping you're going to enjoy following along with. So I'm going to take out, no, I'm not going to take it out, I'll leave it there. Right, so do you remember last time we were working with half an envelope that I showed you? I just want to grab it here. Well, here's the other half that we talked about. All right, so I'm going to use that bit today, and I'm going to stick it down on here. Now I'm going to stick that first of all, so that I can get that in place. Now the way that I want to make sure that I don't get the glue onto this page here, so I'm looking for my pencil. Where are you, oh, there it is. I want to keep the open side, there are 2 open sides, but I want to keep the open side to the right. And having said that, I'm going to just take my glue, and I want to just close the other top end here, because I don't need that open. So we've got that, and we can just close it. Okay, so what I've got now is I've got a piece of paper that I've cut to size to fit onto this pocket over here, like that. So we are going to sew, we're going to glue that down quickly. Right, so we've got that all down. Okay, and now what I want, I'm going to decorate this up, but I think what I'm going to do ever so quickly, I'm just going to go and stitch on those 3 sides here, and I'll be back with you in a second. All right, so I have just stitched around that ever so quickly, and I'm going to just decorate this up. So again, I'm using my skeleton leaf die, and using the big one in here, and I'm going to stick that down quickly. I think I wanted it about over here. So choose a glue that you know, has a nice nozzle that you're able to use, and one that's definitely going to clear, dry clear, so that's key. Right, so I've got that down, and now I'm just going to take a a little sentiment. So these are my autumn sentiments, and I've cut out some leaves from the kit, and I'm using a little butterfly as well, and I'm just getting these layered up here. So this is just to decorate the front of this envelope, and I think I'm gonna get that there, and I might end up tucking that underneath like that, I think. Right, so let's get that down first. So we'll get the leaves down. I hope that you guys are having lots of fun with your autumn journal. If you're doing an autumn journal, I do understand that some people, somewhere in the world, you know, in the southern hemisphere, it is actually spring, going into spring. But, you know, you don't have to make an autumn journal. You can follow along and do the same, but make a spring journal, you know. So bear that in mind as well. I love spring. Always look forward to spring. It's my favorite season. But autumn is very close up there as well, because I just like the colors and the coolness and everything of autumn. Colors are spectacular. Right, so we've got that going down. And then we're going to just stick a butterfly on as well, because I love butterflies, and you know, we need them. We need these pollinators. Although there's not much pollinating going on, they're staying in my journal. I'm going to just put it on this leaf over here like that. All right, so we've got that bit layered up like that. Right, now what I want to do is, I think I'm going to do a little bit of stenciling on here. So let me just grab my stencil. All right, so I've got this stencil. This is from Tim Holtz, and it is Tim Holtz S091 if you're interested. All right, and these are all in my Amazon favorite tools list. So I just want to put a little bit of that there, because we are going to stick this down, but I'm just having a look here as to where I want to put a little bit of stenciling. So I'm using the Tattered Rose, which is the oxide, and I just want to get a little bit of stencil without going onto my page below. So I'm just doing a little bit of this, and probably down at the bottom as well. So not very dark, just a little bit. Right, so we've just got a little bit of there and there, and this could have been a bit darker, but well, I could do that again. I just line up those lines. Didn't do the greatest dark job there, but there we go. I've managed to sort that out. Okay, so we've got that sorted. Now what I want to do is, I need the pencil again. I want to glue this down. So I have need to just make a little line here. And that's just so that I know not to exceed that line when I'm going to glue this down. So I want to just glue this down here, and a lot of this envelope will stick over the edge. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that. So let's just put some nice glue up to the edge here. And if we move that down, we are now able to line this up. And we can just stick it down like that, and hopefully it's there or thereabouts, and it's going to be straight. There we go, pretty much so. Right, so that's going to, I just don't want to, okay, so it's better to do it this side. Right, so we've got that there. You've got a little pocket in there. We're getting some lovely layers here, which I'll put it all together in a moment. Now we need to sort out the back area here. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of the lovely cappuccino paper, as I like to call it. I want to stick that over there like that. Now you could make this another pocket, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stick it completely flat and cover that area there, and I'm going to do something else with this side. So let's just get that stuck down. There we go. So we can now line that up and cover that sewing like that. And once we've done that, we can just stick that down on that side. Right, so there we've got that side done now. And now what I thought I would do is, I've made one of these, and I don't want to get the glare in there. One of these, if you have a look like that, use one of the skeletal leaves, and I will show you quickly how I made this. This was really easy, and I'm going to use this as a little tuck spot over here. So I'm going to stick that down just over there like that. Now all you need to do, and I'll just show you very quickly, or talk you through really, is I measured, let's see what that was, 3 inches wide. I measured 3 inches, so let me just show you here. 3 inches of paper, and I cut a full strip. So it's just a case of having 3 inches of paper like this and cut a full strip of it. So like that, and then get my little craft knife and very carefully just cut that like that. Right, so that's what you need to do. Now, all I did then was, I've just folded that in half. And this is very easy to do it like this. So fold that in half, like that. All right, and then what I did was, you can either draw a box in there to the size, and the box here, I did this with my die, metal die, but this is 1 3/4 inches by 2 3/4. But you can make the box any size you like to fit the leaf that you want to put in there. If you've got your own dried flowers or leaves, go for it, you know, and then just cut that out. And then it's just a case of, and I did have some bits here, it's just a case of taking 2 pieces of acetate or film material from packaging, and once you've got your little windows cut right through, cut through both, it's just a case of sticking that onto the one window. Obviously the hole is removed. You're then going to take your leaf, just grab one here. You're going to stick the leaf on there. So you're going to glue this over the hole. You're then going to stick this down. I didn't glue the leaf. I then put the other piece of acetate on top, and I glued that down. And then I put some glue on the edge there and sandwiched it all together. All right, if you want me to do a specific tutorial on that, I can show you how to do that, but I think you've seen me do this quite a few times before, and that's how I did it, as simple as that. All right, so that's what I've done there. So let's just grab our page back. Right, so what I'm going to do with this is, I want to make this a tuck spot. So I'm going to actually stick this down on that page over there on 2 sides. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my double-sided tape and do that. So I'm going to do it on this side here. I just want to get my tape in place. And I can just tear it off with my fingers, and then on the other side, like that, and again just tear that off with my fingers, and then I just need my pokey tool, and we are just going to lift that off, and then you're able just to stick that down. Now take it as close as you can, not just like that. Now that's going to stay there nice and firmly, as you can see. And then what I did was I just took one of the postcards. I have lined it with the avocado paper that I'm working away, because you can write on that, and I'm going to just stick that there because you get a bit of the font coming through on the actual postcard. Right, so we've just got that as a little tuck spot over there. All right, and that's what it looks like on that side. So if I grab these pages here now, and I'll just get them all together nicely, you can see that we have now put together that page there. We've got this little shorter page in the middle. I've got a little postcard that I've backed onto card. I have put a little bit of washi tape and cut out a leaf there from one of the leaf pages. I've put a tab into this one and just some ribbon, and that's going to go into that pocket just over there like that. So we've got a nice bit of bow sticking out there, and on that side we've got a nice tuck spot and a beautiful image over there. Okay everybody, so you can see we're getting some beautiful layers in the journal already. And that's all I wanted to share with you today. So that's quite a lot really, isn't it? So I hope that you've enjoyed this. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've had a great time putting this together, and I hope that you'll have some fun putting it together into one of your journals in whichever theme you're working in. All right, so thank you again for spending time with me. I look forward to seeing your shares and your makes in my Facebook group if you're a member. And until next time, thank you everyone. As always, see you very soon. Bye-bye.